What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I am DJ, aka Token Black Guy. If you are new here for the first time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll truly appreciate it. So, yesterday, the official trailer for Halo the series was dropped during football yesterday, and everybody is reacting to it. I did my reaction to it. I am thoroughly excited about this show. I have some worries, mainly the story that I'm worried about. Visually, I thought the trailer looked good, so right now I'm excited about it regardless. I just want to see what they're going to do with the whole Halo lore, and how they're going to portray everything. This video right here is from Hidden Xperia. He does really good Halo lore and Halo videos and everything, and he's one of the channels I go to for like my Halo knowledge and everything. This is only half of his video right here. The first half of his video, he did like his reaction to the actual trailer, but this is his more in-depth breakdown of it. So I want to see his take on what he thought and everything. So we're going to watch it and react to it. So see what he has to say about it. He knows more, some things I don't know about, some of the lore and everything I haven't dived into. So I want to see his take on it. So let's check it out.
To the breakdown. Okay, so before we go through this trailer and break it down frame by frame, let me just first explain what I mean by the show being a part of the Silver Canon. So it's not part of the main Halo canon, so you'll notice there'll be some conflicting events that theoretically seem like retcons in the main canon. They aren't. It's a different kind of universe.
So this is that girl that was raised by
totally separate to the main canon.
I haven't read about
However,
yet,
it will heavily borrow from it, and it will still feel like Halo. That's pretty much it, so don't worry about this show retconning anything in the main canon. Okay, so starting off, we have what look to be insurrectionists. To me, they kind of give me an insurrectionist vibe, using modern weaponry, specifically an AK. Now, I don't know what AK model or variant this is. Maybe somebody who knows more about Kalashnikovs than me can tell me down below in the comments. But it looks like they're using AKs, and they're under assault from presumably the Covenant on this deserty colony world. Now, this colony world could be anything. It could be an existing world. It could be a completely new one. Maybe it's Netherop from Halo Oblivion. If you've read that it looks a lot similar to the description of Netherop in that book. We don't know when the Halo TV show is set in the Halo timeline, but if they want to borrow from recent canon, then Netherop would definitely fit. Chief then comes in and saves them, and by the sounds of it, when he uses this chain gun, it sounds as if they're actually going to be using weapon sounds from the games in the TV show, which is a great bit of consistency. It sounds like for the turret, they're using the Halo 4 turret sound.
Yeah.
And for the AR, it sounds like the Halo 5 AR sound. Importantly. Not my sounds of choice, but I'm happy that there's definitely some consistency there. It's going to make everything seem a lot more cohesive. Chief then meets Quan R, one of the survivors of the assault, who isn't the one who's raised by the Covenant, like I said early on in the reaction part of the video. That's a completely different character called Marquis that we'll get to in a minute. Now, at first,
I had no nothing about
her. I thought that was an Arbiter, but it just seems to be the kind of general design for the elites that they're going for in this show. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan.
Now you say it looks more arbitrary.
I much prefer this design over Halo 4 and Halo 5's elites, and to be honest, Halo Reaches as well. So I'll take this over those three, but I'm still not a massive fan.
They're just bulky though.
I don't know, I can't really describe it. They look a little bit weird. But that said, the animation in this scene was really good, so hopefully the elites still kind of act like they do in
a little flare from Chief's shield.
Halo 2 elites. I love the way they were animated in that game. They felt like so stealthy and agile, and I really hope that the elites in the TV show kind of inherit those traits. Here we have our first shot of the Marines in the TV show, and they look fantastic. They look just like Halo Marines. Also, the battlescapes as well look fantastic. The production quality of this show overall is looking really good, which I'm going to be honest was one of my main worries about this show. I was worried that it was going to end up looking really cheap, because I'm going to be honest, to me, Nightfall and Forward Unto Dawn look really cheap. And I was hoping we weren't going to get something like that again. And it looks a lot better than those two,
that
which is
Warhawk
a great start. But again, more on that in a minute. We also get a shot in the armory of some UNSC ship where Spartans Riz O2, Vanak 134, and Kai 125, members of Spartan 2 Silver Team, are suiting up, and goddamn does this armor look good. It looks really Mark V to me, but Mark V wasn't introduced until 2551, so again, the timing of the show in the regular Halo timeline is just completely, we don't know. We're just guessing at this point. There are so many mixed messages. Also, Halsey in this is British. her voice is British, which is rather interesting because originally Bungie wanted Cortana to be British, which I think we can infer
the classic
that
purple.
Halsey would have been British as well, because obviously Cortana is Halsey personality-wise. So I bet Marcus Slater and Joe Staten are really happy about that one, so I'm pretty sure they were the two that wanted Cortana to be British in the first place. Also, if you aren't aware, Halsey is played by Natasha McElhone, who, if you haven't seen it, was in The Truman Show. Please go and watch The Truman Show. Incredible movie. It's quite weird to think that she was in that, and she's also going to be in the Halo TV show, but yeah, there you go. Moving on, Chief finds some Forerunner artifact on that colony world that the Covenant were after, which is buried in a really cool-looking, presumably Forerunner temple.
Yeah.
And when it's activated, it projects a Reclaimer symbol alongside a bunch of glyphs. Now, the absolute madman CIA from Halopedia actually managed to decipher these glyphs.
Oh, really?
And it turns out they stand for Bio, Scan, and End. So, the artifact was probably scanning Chief to confirm that he was a Reclaimer before letting him access the information inside. And that information is the location, presumably the location, of a Halo ring. Now, later on in the trailer, presumably after this battle, Chief rallies up with the Silver Team and then says that he needs Cortana. And then right at the end of the trailer, he says, "Find the Halo, win the war." Now, firstly, before we even get to that, here's our first look at Cortana. Now, I believe she's actually voiced by Jen Taylor, but she's played by Natasha McElhone as well. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of how Cortana looks here. It doesn't look great.
So, the voice, I said during my reaction, sounded like the original voice actor, which is amazing. It makes sense that they have Halsey playing Cortana because Cortana is part of Halsey. They use some of her brain, whatever. But she's not bad looking. It just doesn't look right. I don't know. There's something about it. And then she's not blue or purple. I don't know. Whatever. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. It's just, I don't know. It's off.
I don't know. She looks a bit too human to me. I think she needs to look a little bit more holographic.
Not a more see-through.
But back to find the Halo, win the war. I'd assume that all Chief means by that is that they need to find it before the Covenant do, because if the Covenant find it, they're going to fire it and begin the Great Journey, of course. I've seen some people saying that Chief means that the UNSC are going to find it and fire it. I don't think that's what he means. I think he literally just means that they got to find it before the Covenant do. This artifact, though, does bring up one worry that I have with this TV show, and it's that it's going to just devolve into yet another race to find a Forerunner MacGuffin before the Covenant can get their hands on it. That's been the centerpiece of so many Halo stories over the past, God knows how many years, and it's gotten a bit cliche and tiring, and I just hope this show does something different with it. And speaking of the Covenant, after long last, here's our first shot at the character Marquis, the human who was raised by the Covenant.
I know nothing about her.
Now, before we even get to any of the narrative implications or story details, can I just say she's dressed like one of the Pau'an from Star Wars? You know those guys that have really, really big neck things? She looks like one of those kind of. I don't know if that's intentional, but she looks like him. Anyways, in this room, which looks to be the Hierarch's inner sanctum, you can see that she's meeting with Truth, Mercy, and Regret, alongside possibly an Arbiter or an elite commander. It'd have to be some kind of high-ranking elite for him to have personal counsel with the Hierarchs, right? So, this is interesting. It also seems as well that Marquis has some sort of weird power that allows her to control the Legolo, which again sounds peculiar.
Okay, so it's not Flood, it's from the Hunter.
She uses them on humans who presumably defy her orders of surrendering to the Covenant. Now, this entire thing is certainly an interesting narrative choice. I think interesting is one way of putting it. And I hope that it turns out that Marquis was really just being used by the Prophets for her abilities as a Reclaimer to unlock Forerunner sites and nothing else, or else it wouldn't really make much sense. But then again,
I don't know much about her, so
they could just rework the Covenant a bit.
I need to read some books about her before the show comes out.
Right then, so in addition to all of this human Covenant, Halo Ring, space opera stuff, we're also going to be getting a deeper, more personal subplot about the atrocities committed to the children that later became the Spartans. And at the center of that narrative is going to be the Spartan 2 washout, Soren 066. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, don't worry, I got you covered. Basically, Soren was one of the 74 children who went into the Spartan 2 program,
originals.
however, was severely disfigured by the muscle augmentation procedures,
That him right there?
and ultimately was unable to become a Spartan. He then served on desk duty for some years in the UNSC before his resentment at what he couldn't become and what was done to him and the other children resulted in his defection to the insurrection. Now, in the main canon, Soren tries to escape Reach to any space in a longsword, but it ends up crashing and his body's never found, and he's officially, and actually legitimately for once, declared missing in action. And that's pretty much where his story ends. We have no idea what happened to him after that. Now, what's interesting is that it appears as though in the TV show, he's found his way to a location called the Rubble. Now, the Rubble is a group of asteroids that are basically converted into this massive city that's home to a large population of insurrectionists, of whom even did business with Covenant-affiliated Jackal pirates and supplied them with arms during the war. So I think from this, we can kind of deduce that Soren's entire story in this show is going to be this duality of both sympathy for the Spartans, because he knows what they went through as children. I mean, they all went through that torture together to become Spartans. So many of them died as well. But also sympathy for the insurrection as well, because to them, and also to Soren personally, the UNSC are nothing short of evil. Oh, and also, I absolutely love this shot here of Soren in his Mjolnir wearing a leather jacket over it. We finally got some form of cloaked Mjolnir. It took so many years, but it was worth the wait. Okay, so let's wrap this up and look at the final few scenes from the trailer. I gotta say, the production design of the battles is top-notch by the looks of it, which, to be honest, is possibly the most important thing to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? The story is really, really important.
If it had looked cheesy, it'd be horrible.
But at the end of the day, I kind of just want to see some cool as fuck looking Halo combat on the small screen. And
give me some lot of combat.
It's looking like this show's going to provide that, which makes me really happy. The Phantom here looks absolutely incredible. This Jackal, which
amazing.
Looks to be some sort of a hybrid between the Rutian and Ibishan Jackals, the Bungie and 343 ones, has one of those like wrist-attached energy daggers that the elites in Reach had, which is cool. We're going to get our first like melee-focused Jackal, which could be kind of cool. Silver Team in this shot look absolutely just utterly insane, and the Pelican here looks really cool as well. We also have this shot of a UNSC ship flying beneath a massive Corvette. Now, I'm not sure what model of UNSC ship this is, but like I said, ships aren't my forte. It could be an existing model, it could be a brand new one. It doesn't look familiar to me, but who knows? But I love how the Corvette looks. I love the scale and the design of it. It looks fantastic. And then there's also this shot of this mysterious Commander
Keys, but apparently he's supposed to be black, right?
Now, I'm trying to think who this could be. I don't think it'll be Mendez. Maybe either Lord Hood or Preston Cole.
Hood,
to be honest, at this point, it's kind of impossible to tell. It could just be someone entirely new. We have no idea. Overall, like I said, the production design looks fantastic. The only things that I'm not really sold on at this point are the Elite design, the Cortana design, and the story. The story's still a little bit... I don't have an issue at all with the whole Silver Cannon thing. If anything, I think for a TV show, that's probably the best way to go, because it allows you so much more leniency with like doing weirder things with the story that are only possible in a TV show.
I agree.
But on the same page, a lot of it seems a bit weird. That whole human raised by the Covenant thing.
I don't think they should have brought that.
I don't know. This shot with her and an Elite meeting with the Prophets is certainly interesting. I also really hope for the Prophets we get Halo 2's voice actors back. That's probably a big ask, but I mean, Michael Wincott as Truth was just on another level. I really hope at the very least they get Michael Wincott back. But yeah, that's my reaction and breakdown to the Halo TV show trailer. I can't believe we've waited almost a decade for this. It's finally here. It seems still quite surreal. I can't believe I'm making this video, but here we are, I guess. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm sure you've got a lot of thoughts, because I think we all do at this point, right? Exactly. Yeah, let me know them down below in the comments. Thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you all.
Yeah, so like I said, he makes some very good points in this. My biggest concern is the story. I know it's not going to be straight canon and from the games or from the books, but it just has to have some kind of be grounded in that. If they go too off the rails, it's not going to be a good show just for us, like die-hard Halo fans. I'm giving them some kind of leniency. I don't think they should have brought the what's her name, Macy, being raised by the Covenant into it just yet, just for us Halo fans. But like I said, visually it looks good. My only concern is the way Cortana looks. I wish she was a little more, like you said, holographic and more see-through. I get that they're making the actress who's playing Halsey kind of model her, which makes sense because Cortana is basically Halsey in a sense. But you know, it is what it is. I'm still gonna watch the show. I'm still excited about it, even with my gripes and my worries about it. I'm still excited about the show. As you know, it's been 20 years, man. Oh, yeah, 20 years, I think, roughly, since Halo came out, and about 10 years, 15 years, they talk about a movie and everything. So just seeing it finally getting to close, I suppose we can get to that Halo movie and live action and stuff like that. I'm excited about it. So let you guys know what you think down in the comments below. If you're excited about it, what are you worried about it? What are you excited about it? If you're gonna watch it. Yeah, until next time, guys. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.